I did hear it. You were not horse whispering. Rake your foot. Good, Ann. Very good. I knew early on that I wanted to do horse stuff for a living. I just wasn't quite sure. I loved the cow horse stuff. I loved the cutting part of it. Was just never really very good with any of that. When I was 15, maybe, I went to a Horseman's for Christ camp that Doug Milholland taught, and I thought, man, that is so cool to get to make a living riding a horse like that and reach a lot of people like Doug did. And that was kind of the point where I remember going, you know, a guy can make a living doing this. I was around those guys there at that clinic that were all doing it. I can tell you that I've had countless, hundreds of people in my life that have been inspiration for me, or we call them lighthouses. You know, if you check to make sure your lighthouses are lining up. My parents are wonderful, wonderful people, and my dad and mom both instilled heavily the integrity part of it. Coming into this business early on, that was something that you didn't see a ton of, and I feel like that has served me as good as any horse training stuff that I've ever accomplished. You're a good boy. But I feel like God's given me a platform here with the ability to train a horse and the opportunity to go show. I feel like I have a bigger responsibility to share the love of Christ with everybody that I come in contact than I do the responsibility to train horses for a living. And I feel like if I don't use that platform for God's good, for the glory of Christ, then I've wasted that opportunity and that platform will go away. He didn't buy tacos when he got bucked off? I would say that one horse for me was America's Next Gun Model. I can tell you there were a lot of horses that sacrificed to get me to the point where I was ready to have the gun model. But she was the first one that I feel like really got me on the map. We called her Lily. She was born on Easter, but the gun model taught me that it doesn't really matter what it feels like, it matters what it looks like. She was one of those horses that needed to do it her own way, and she was exceptional at doing it. The period that I tried to implement how I wanted it done were terrible, terrible weeks. Looking back, if I had drawn my line in the sand, I probably would have ruined that mare and the industry would have lost a great individual. But I did finally come to terms with the fact that, you know what, she's special how she does it all by herself. So I got to figure out how to get it to work when I need it to work, but let her do it in a way that she was happy doing it.
Well, thank you, Casey, with America's Next Gun Model. Well, Casey, are you ready for your score? Well, how about a 2:27 1/2?
The natural feel comes in to play on any of them that we get on. I feel like I'm fortunate that I have a really good team of guys, and they all have a different strong point. Your help is as important in this deal as it is with anything. So I feel like I really try to take good care of my help. I want them to be successful too, and I try to put them in situations where they get to go compete and they get to, you know, have a chance to win a little prize money too. But we treat them like family too. We eat a lot of meals together. We spend a lot of time together. So you have to make sure that when you're starting a business that you create a team, whether it's your veterinarians or your horseshoers or your dentist, that everybody's kind of working the same direction and kind of the, you know, equally yoked. Please put ice boots on him up front. The business as a whole, when you get guys like Taylor Sheridan coming in and Teton coming in that love the horses and love the lifestyle, and they're promoting it and they're putting money into it. The guys at 100X have done a great job of raising money to grow that sport. My wife and I were talking coming home from the 100X. It's the middle of May. I've won $400,000 this year. That 10 years ago, the #1 rider didn't win $400,000 the entire year. The opportunity to do well in this sport and actually make a legitimate living that you can afford to raise a family on is something that we've never seen before. I'm sweating like a fat kid. My wife is incredible. And I tell people all the time that if it wasn't for my wife, I'd be living in a van down by the river. So she is excellent at pushing to make us better as a team. My wife carries the majority of the load for the business, and I get to sit out here and ride, and I get to go show and all of the fun stuff. But I find it hard to believe that a guy can be really successful in this business without having somebody in their corner like I have with Nicole. If I could say anything to the future generation in this sport, is that you're never going to make it happen. I think that's the one thing that I see young people struggle with so much, is they try to force things into happening with a horse, and it just doesn't work that way. There is no shortcut for putting the time in. There's no shortcut for the patience and making sure that you have built all of those layers in before it's time to go perform. I love what I do. I love getting up in the morning and coming to work. I love riding. I love seeing the progress in the sport. I love helping the next generation of young people coming in, the guys that I'm going to be competing against in the next few years. I enjoy that part. It's our responsibility as professionals is to keep growing that sport.